Hey guys, my name is Catherine. Thank you for joining me again for another episode of Missing the Missing. In this episode, number 24, we're going to be talking about Christine or Christina Bracken, also known as Sister Jacinta. Christina Nuala Bracken was born on the 26th of November 1939 in Abbeyleix and was raised in Ballycullen, County Laois, Ireland, in a full family with many siblings, including a brother named Christopher and three sisters, including two named Mary and Bridget. She was Catholic and described as having a very close relationship with her family. Not a great deal is known about Christina's early life, but given her later endeavours, it is believed that she was religious, full of faith, popular, and liked walking and music. During her adult life, Christina sadly lost her father and gravitated towards the convent, though at what times are unknown. Christina took her vows and became a full-fledged nun, taking the name of Sister Jacinta. Sister Jacinta would eventually come to be based at the Stella Maris Convent in Swansea, South Wales, and was working specifically as a music teacher for the Ursuline of Jesus Sisters. Sister Jacinta was known as a popular member of society and, as we've touched on, appeared to enjoy walking and shopping, and she gave guitar lessons to the local children. There wasn't anything out of the ordinary in the lead-up to Sister Jacinta's disappearance, though her mother's birthday loomed on the horizon. At the time of her disappearance, Sister Jacinta was described as a 38-year-old Caucasian female of slim build with dark-coloured hair and brown eyes. It is unknown what she was last seen wearing. On the 19th of May, 1979, Sister Jacinta left the Stella Maris Convent at around lunchtime to go shopping in Swansea, about a 5-minute drive or a 20-minute walk away. It is believed that she intended to purchase a pair of stockings for her mother's upcoming birthday. Sister Jacinta was recognised by two children she had been teaching near to the Quadrant multi-storey car park. This was the last confirmed sighting of her. It is unknown whether she succeeded in making a purchase that day, but she failed to return to the convent and was subsequently reported missing. The day after she disappeared, a local boatman found Sister Jacinta's handbag on the foreshore, approximately 30 feet or 9 metres from the West Pier, about a 10-minute drive or half-hour walk from the Quadrant car park. The area is surrounded by waterways, and it is feasible that the bag had been dropped into the nearby River Tor or the Tor Basin and been carried out to the pier by the current and subsequently washed up on the shore. Police searches commenced, but Sister Jacinta couldn't be located, nor was anything else found in the area surrounding the handbag. A search of the convent turned up her return sailing ticket to Ireland and her cash, along with all of the rest of her belongings. Though, interestingly, much later comment by her niece alleged that her beloved guitar was missing. She had not been thought to have had it with her when she left, nor was she known to have had plans with it at the time. Investigators released appeals through the local media and even consulted clairvoyants. The Bracken family hired private investigators and even a psychic, but all to no avail. Police inquiries revealed that Sister Jacinta would often walk along the sand and mud banks of the old docklands on her way back to the convent from shopping in the city centre. Further investigation and inquiries revealed that no passport or death certificate has been issued under her name in the years since her vanishing, and she is not known to have travelled anywhere traceable. A further unsubstantiated sighting surfaced, which placed Sister Jacinta praying in St. David's Roman Catholic Church, which is just a 3-minute walk from the last confirmed sighting of her near the Quadrant car park. Unfortunately, no further information has been released in relation to this possible sighting, no times and no witness details. The case grew cold. In 2005, the inquiry into Sister Jacinta's disappearance was reopened by Detective Inspector Andy Hughes, and the following May of 2006, 27 years after Sister Jacinta disappeared, police launched a new appeal for information in the case. A reconstruction of Sister Jacinta's last known movements was released on BBC television, which covered England and Wales, though which was never shown on Irish television. Just the following year, in 2007, Swansea police located an unidentified body, which was initially believed to have possibly been Sister Jacinta, though subsequent DNA analysis disproved this theory. A year later, in 2008, the charity Missing People Wales was set up and went on to feature Sister Jacinta's case, though no new leads were developed. In May of 2010, another fresh appeal was launched in the then 31-year-old case, though sadly again nothing came to fruition. In January of 2012, the Bracken family released a renewed appeal in an attempt to find Sister Jacinta. In the new appeal, families suggested that new information had come to light, not further described, which had given reason to believe that Sister Jacinta had made her way from Swansea via ferry back to Cork in Ireland and subsequently travelled on to Tipperary. It is unclear where this information came from, or what it in fact is, given that her sailing ticket was reportedly located in the convent along with her possessions, and that her handbag was found in Wales. As with many others, the theories in this case can be split into four main ones. First is the possibility of suicide. It's never a nice thing to talk about, and in this case in particular, there is nothing to suggest that Sister Jacinta was depressed or worried about anything. She was known to be making plans for the future, buying a sailing ticket to visit her mother at home in Ireland, and making moves to purchase a gift for her upcoming birthday. Also, given the fact that Sister Jacinta was a practicing Catholic nun who took her faith seriously, suicide is not considered a plausible theory in the case. Second is the suggestion that Sister Jacinta left of her own accord to start a new life for herself. This is an unusual thought, given that she left her cash in the convent and that her handbag was found near to the West Pier the day after she vanished. She appeared to take no resources with her, nor to make any preparations for leaving. With the exception that her guitar was later reported to have been missing, it appeared that nothing disappeared along with her. However, we do know that Sister Jacinta was shopping for an item of apparel on the day she disappeared, and we have no description of what she was last seen wearing. It is possible that she may have purchased clothing and changed if she had intended to leave, though she was expected back that evening, and so her absence would have been noticed rapidly. We don't know how much cash she was carrying with her at the time, though she was allegedly only planning to purchase a pair of stockings. It has also never been released what was found inside her handbag when it was recovered, so we don't know if further cash or items of interest were left within it or had been removed. Moreover, her sailing ticket was found at the convent, and her name has not appeared at any port, nor has any travel document surfaced in her name, either at the time or subsequent to her disappearance. If she did leave of her own accord, what would be her motive? She was not known to be in a relationship, and nobody came forward to say that they had noticed her interacting with a new individual in the time prior to her vanishing. Furthermore, where would she go? As a nun, her options would have been limited outside of another convent or religious settlement, and family have claimed not to have seen or heard from her in the years since. Former Detective Jenny Brain of Swansea Police advised that Jacinta had a very close relationship with her family, and since that day she has never contacted anyone in the family, and that she was in frequent contact with the convent, and everybody that she spoke to just couldn't believe that Jacinta would leave without telling anyone. It was, however, initially believed that Sister Jacinta had returned to Ireland, though how she would have managed to do this, where she would have gone to, and how she would have managed to support herself are unknown. It was later reported, as we've mentioned, that family suggested that further information had surfaced, which led them to believe that Sister Jacinta was living somewhere in Tipperary, having travelled back to Ireland by a ferry, though the provenance of this information is unknown, and inquiries have proven futile. Moving on is the possibility of an accident having occurred. Retired Detective Jenny Brain explains that one of the theories the police were considering was the possibility that Sister Jacinta may have fallen into Swansea Dock. More specifically, getting sucked into a hole in the wall in Swansea's docklands. There was apparently a large hole in the wall at the far end of the dock, which reportedly had a lot of suction. She went on to explain that we had a clairvoyant to draw a map of Swansea, pointing out where there was a hole in the dock. The clairvoyant allegedly thought that Sister Jacinta may have either fallen or been buried into a hole like this one. Swansea docklands were being developed at the time into Swansea Marina and County Hall, leading to speculation that Sister Jacinta is sadly entombed in the foundations of a building that has since been erected in the area. The marina has lock gates which prevent the water from completely draining at any time. And finally, there is the option of foul play. Concerningly, there is a theory that a known sex offender and serial killer may have been responsible for, or at least involved in, the disappearance of Sister Jacinta. Although the murder of Angelica Cluck was believed to have occurred in 2006, skeletal remains of two teenagers who disappeared in 1991 were found in his former home many years later, those of Vicky Hamilton and Dinah McNichol. It is known that by 1970 he already had a criminal record, though for less serious offences than murder and rape, and the women he was known to target were aged much younger than Sister Jacinta was at the time of her vanishing. Born in 1946, it is unusual for a serial killer to begin their crime so late in life. Given that he would have been in his early 30s at the time of Sister Jacinta's disappearance, there have been those who have suggested that he may have been involved. The individual, however, is Scottish, and while he was known to have lived in Kent, England for some time, there is nothing to link him personally to either Swansea, Wales, or Sister Jacinta herself. I'm not sure where the original link surfaced, though I suspect it's tenuous at best, probably hinging the most on the fact that when he was finally arrested for the murders, he had rosary beads in his possession, leading some to speculate that they may have been a trophy or a souvenir of a religious woman that he had murdered, though no solid evidence has surfaced to substantiate that thought. The beads could also be explained a number of other ways, however. He has also been linked, though distantly, to the Bible John murders in Scotland in the late 1960s. The individual responsible for the murders of these women was said to have quoted the Bible and appeared religious. Furthermore, according to Wikipedia, in order to avoid arrest after sexually assaulting two girls in 1993, he went into hiding by joining a religious sect in Coventry, England, called the Jesus Fellowship. Also, in September 2006, at the time of Angelica Cluck's murder, he was also working as a handyman or caretaker at St. Patrick's Roman Catholic Church in Anderston, Glasgow. Beyond the possibility of a known serial killer and sexual predator, there is the possibility of a random act of foul play, or somebody who had been fixated with Sister Jacinta. Whilst nobody who knew her knew of anybody who may have wanted to harm her or been obsessed with her, she was known to run errands in Swansea and could have been seen by anyone during any of these trips who may have targeted her. The thought of a random act of violence, while possible, may be difficult due to the fact that Sister Jacinta disappeared in the middle of a busy town shopping district in the middle of the day, where many witnesses would have been available to identify her or the potential perpetrator. If Sister Jacinta had screamed, she would surely have been heard, and it wouldn't have taken long for somebody to have found her. That leaves the option for her to have been surprised or overpowered and incapacitated before she was able to alert anybody or attract any attention. This would mean any perpetrator would have had to have gotten her to a vehicle to flee the scene, committing the rest of the crime elsewhere, which may explain why we have never yet been able to locate her. If this were the case, however, it seems reckless to abandon the handbag. Whether this would have been lost in the struggle, dropped during transport, or deliberately thrown towards the sea during escape is unknown. Summing it up, Detective Andy Hughes of South Wales Police explained that the theories involved Sister Jacinta falling into the dock, deliberately throwing herself into the water, the involvement of a third party, or another theory is that she is alive and well, living a new life in another part of the world. He volunteered, "My own gut feeling is that Sister Jacinta went into the water." Whether it was suicide or whether a third party was involved would be pure speculation. Sadly, we may never know what happened to Sister Jacinta Bracken on the 19th of May, 1979, in Swansea, Wales. I'm going to leave you now with a repeat of Sister Jacinta's description and some final words from investigators and family. At the time of her disappearance, Sister Jacinta was described as a 38-year-old Caucasian female of slim build with dark-coloured hair and brown eyes. It is unknown what she was last seen wearing. If seen today, she would be 81 years old. Whilst it has been reported that South Wales Police has never closed its investigation into the disappearance of Sister Jacinta, later reports suggest that the investigation had been reopened decades later for review. Sadly, I can't find Sister Jacinta Bracken listed on the South Wales Police website, nor any mention in the Swansea division of the same, so I'm unclear on the current stance of the investigation. However, Detective Andy Hughes noted during the last review into the case that, unfortunately, we are still unable to find her after all these years, but that we are keeping this case open and will be conducting further investigations shortly. Hopefully, we can get to the answer to it. The month that many people in the UK will remember as being the month that Margaret Thatcher became Britain's first female Prime Minister, May of 1979, will be sorely remembered quite differently by the people left behind in the wake of Sister Jacinta's disappearance. In a report on the missing.ie website, there is a direct message to Sister Jacinta from a relative by the name of Mary, who I believe to be her sister. She says, quote, "Nuala, if you have made a new life for yourself away from convent, will you please contact some family member or this website? We are still looking for you after all these years. All our love, Mary." End quote. Contact information will be provided below. Mary is not Sister Jacinta's only surviving relative. She appears to have had, at least as of the time of the missing.ie report, a sister in Rathdowney, a brother in Thurles, and 2 more sisters in England and Australia, along with nieces and nephews. It has been reported that the family believe that Sister Jacinta is alive and well and living in Tipperary, Ireland. Given that no passport or death certificate has been issued in her name since her vanishing, it may be reasonable to believe that this is so. Her niece, named after her, Jacinta, explained, "A lot of our family has passed on and we want to have closure on it, for her and her family, just to let her know that she can contact us. We want her to know that she can still come back after all these years." Jenny Brain of Swansea Police stated that this case will be remembered by the people in Swansea for a long time. It would be nice if someone, somewhere, to give an answer to all of this and a sense of closure to all of us. If you have any information relating to the disappearance of Sister Jacinta Bracken, please use the contact details in the description box below to get it to those who can act on it. So that's it for now, guys. Thank you for taking some time out of your day to learn a little bit more about Sister Jacinta. Until next time, bye!